Hello, everyone. Welcome to Newsroom Media. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. You're welcome to my channel. Now to the news headline: Electricity tariff, fuel price hike. NLC endorses September 28th strike, mass protest. Before I go ahead with the details of today's news, if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button down below. Like and share my videos. Electricity tariff, fuel price hike, NLC endorses September 28th strike, mass protest. The highest decision-making organ of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), besides its National Delegates Conference, National Executive Council (NEC), Tuesday endorsed and ratified the decision of Congress Central Working Committee to declare a nationwide indefinite strike and mass protest from September 28th should government fail to reverse the recent hike in electricity tariff and petrol pump price. This came as Trade Union Congress of Nigeria (TUC) extended its 47-day strike notice of the hikes to September 28th to tally with NLC's deadline for a united labor action against the increase in electricity tariff and petrol pump price. At a meeting held at Labour House, Abuja, the NEC ordered the 36 NLC States Council and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Abuja to intensify mobilization of workers and other Nigerians, faulting the timing of the increments. Recall that the NLC's CWC had last Wednesday threatened to shut down the economy if the federal government refused to reverse the recent hike in petrol price and electricity tariff before September 28th. Speaking after the next meeting, President of NLC, Ayuba Awaba, advised the federal government to, in the interest of industrial peace and social order, listen to the cries of workers and other suffering Nigerians and rescind the increases, warning that failure to meet the demands would make the planned strike and mass protest inevitable. According to him, the National Executive Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress, comprising members of the National Executive Council, President and General Secretary of members of the affiliate unions and our state council chairmen and secretaries of the 36 states and FCT met yesterday, and resolved as follows. NEC resolved to reject in its entirety the issue of hike in electricity tariffs by almost 100%, as well as the fuel price increase in the name of fuel deregulation. This decision is premised on the fact that these twin decisions, alongside other decisions of government, including the increase of VAT by 7.5%, numerous charges being charged by commercial banks and depositors without any explanation, will further impoverish Nigerian workers and citizens, including their families. Therefore, this increase coming in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic is not only ill-timed, but it is also counterproductive. NEC also observed that the privatization of electricity subsector 7 years down the line had not yielded any positive results, whereas the entire privatization process, the entire sector, was sold at about 400 billion. We are also surprised that the government, within the last 4 years, injected 1.5 trillion over and above the amount that accrued from this important asset. Therefore, NEC came to the conclusion that the entire privatization process has failed and the electricity hike is actually a process of continuous exploitation of Nigerians. On the issue of the refineries and also the increase in the pump price of PMS, this particular issue had been on the table for more than 3 decades and the argument had not changed. Whether it is the name of food deregulation or subsidy removal, what is obvious is that it is fuel price hike, and this has further eroded the gains of a 30,000 minimum wage because it has spiral effects, which include the high cost of food and services and the reduction in the purchasing power of ordinary Nigerians. In light of all this, NEC thought that the issue of deregulation would be a continuous exploitation if it is import driven, while demanding that our three refineries should be made to work optimally and then it would benefit Nigerians. NEC also concluded that the government has business in doing business because the primary purpose of governance is about the security and welfare of the people. And if in other countries the governments are maintaining refineries and they are working optimally for the benefit of the people, Nigeria cannot be an exception. In the light of this, NEC decided to endorse the 2-week ultimatum given to the federal government to reverse those obnoxious decisions, and also pronounced that the action proposed by the Federal Working Committee is hereby endorsed by the NEC, that 28th of September should be the date that those decisions should be challenged by the Nigerian workers, our civil society allies and other labor centers. On its part, TUC, in a statement by its president and secretary, Quadri Olaleye and Musa Lawal Ozigi, respectively, said TUC, after an exhaustive meeting held to review its mobilization strategies on the forthcoming strike to protest fuel hike and electricity tariff increase, resolved that the Congress is going to work in collaboration with its sister Labour Center, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the civil society allies to execute the strike. Consequent upon this, the ultimatum, which should expire by midnight of today, 22nd September 2020, has been shifted to 28th September 2020 for effective and maximum effect. We want to use this opportunity to call on Nigerians, especially those in the informal sector, to bear with us while the industrial action lasts. There is no need for the pains we bear. This is a needless one. They ask us to tighten our belts while they loosen theirs. Services are not rendered yet. We are compelled to pay estimated bills. You will recall that this government, during its electioneering campaigns in 2014, told the world there is nothing like subsidy. We were told that they will build refineries, but all that are history now. We run a monopoly economy, and any hike in fuel automatically will have adverse effects on us yet. Successive governments told that part because they are not creative. As at today, about 8 states are yet to commence the payment of new minimum wage and its consequential adjustment, even though the president signed it into law on April 18, 2019. We have written letters to the governors and also engaged them in dialogue, but all to no avail. Sometimes we wonder if these people have conscience at all. The Congress hereby appeals to all Nigerians to get ready for the unprecedented mass action against corruption, obnoxious policies, rape and other violent offenses, breach of collective bargaining agreements, unemployment, etc. We also call on USA, UK, Germany, Spain, etc. to support our struggle by placing indefinite visa ban on our political leaders whose stock in trade is to loot and impoverish the masses and the country. We can no longer take it. Enough is enough. I say enough is enough. The normal Nigerians, we have suffered a lot. We cannot continue to suffer at the expense of our political leader while they steal money and loot money, take it over and store money there for their children, because they can't even finish spending the money. So this is where I draw the curtain off today. Thank you very much for listening to the news for today. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button, share and like my videos. Thank you.